Howdy YouTube, this is Charles from our Tiny Cabin Project bringing you another exciting episode. Today we're going to be talking about alternative heat measures. You've heard me mention it in other videos, but I realized I might not have described what it is that I'm speaking of. I've talked about the Buddy heater, which we've used, Zippo hand warmers, the oil radiator, and you've heard me mention several times the denatured alcohol fireplace insert. As you can see, this is burning in a normal chimenea. Heat is coming out the top, no smoke whatsoever. Stay tuned and I will give you a rundown on how this little gizmo operates. Hi and welcome back. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about the denatured alcohol fireplace insert. This chimenea was purchased at Garden Ridge. The one we used at the cabin was a little smaller and cost about $45. This is the larger model. It cost us, I think, around $65 or $70 for the big chimenea. Inside of it, I have some of these fake fiberglass logs you'd use for a gas fireplace, and inside I have a denatured alcohol fireplace insert by Flame. It burns standard denatured alcohol. I use clean strip denatured alcohol, which is now being advertised as clean burning fuel. This technology has been around for quite a while in other countries, and it's only recently started to gain some popularity in the United States. A lot of that, I would presume, as a result of global marketing, because of things like eBay and Amazon, where we have more access to more products from all over the world, and you can have things shipped to you. But anyway, this thing is rated at 6,000 BTUs. It is advertised as a ventless fireplace insert. They also make gel inserts. I personally prefer the denatured alcohol over the gel because you're not limited to having to buy their brand of fuel. Like I said, I use clean strip. This runs about 12 to 15 bucks a can whenever or not it's on sale. The fireplace insert, when filled, will burn for about 6 hours. The reason why we stopped using it at the cabin was because when it's burning, it does put off a little bit of an odor that can be a little irritating in such a micro space. Now, mind you, the cabin has a floor plan of 8 feet wide by an interior floor space of 12 feet long. So that's pretty small area. Our living room, where we use it in our house in the city, the living room here is roughly about 200 square feet with 12-foot ceilings, and the doors open to other rooms, and every now and then the heater may or not kick on, helping with some ventilation, and I can always crack a window if the smell bothers me, but I haven't had a problem here at the house. As always, whenever you use any kind of flammable material or are messing with fire, use common sense. I'm not responsible if you blow up your house or burn all the hairs off your arm. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. Wait, first let me turn the light off so you can get a good look at it, because I know it's kind of hard to see with the spotlight on. 1 second. So there. As you can see, the flames dance around. You get a really pretty blue flame. Here, I'll go ahead and move the camera in so you can get a better look. Nice, pretty blue flames. As you can see, there's no smoke coming out the top. But trust me in the fact that it is putting out a good amount of heat. ahead and turn the spotlight back on. Whoosh! And I'm back. So, I'll go ahead and kick this off. Let that cool down. And then I'm going to let this cool down for a minute, and then I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. So stay tuned. Hi, and welcome back. I've went ahead and taken out the fiberglass logs, and fireplace has cooled down enough to where I can grab it now. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it out. It's still a little warm, so I'm going to be cautious here. And this is what it looks like. This is a stainless steel insert. It just sets right down in there. Still a little warm, so I'm just going to show you from here. And this little piece slides up and down to control the flame. You can adjust how much fire is coming out. It's basically filled with fiberglass with a wire screen over it. Basically the same concept as the Zippo hand warmer, but a little bigger. Or probably more comparable to like a real Zippo lighter, because it makes a flame. It doesn't burn on a catalytic principle like the hand warmers. But it is quite effective. So I think I paid $45 for the insert, and then an extra $25 for this nifty little grate that it sets in. So if we ever move to a place that has a fireplace, I can just set this in there and put the logs on it. It'll look real nice and pretty. But in the meantime, our house in the city doesn't have a chimney or fireplace, hence the chimney. And we found this to be a really nice solution for more ambiance at the house. Perhaps it would work as a better heat source at the cabin now that we have the flooring in and some of the interior walls up. Like I said, it does put off a little bit of an odor that I found somewhat irritating. But in a larger space such as our house in the city, the smell doesn't bother me. Now, if it is burning for a couple hours, after a while it will start to bother me. But this is not our main heat source. This is secondary. Also, if, for instance, if the grid were to go down, if we get hit with a snowstorm, power goes out, it's winter, it's, in the 20s, this will easily keep our living room at a comfortable temperature. In the house, with full traditional household insulation on a foundation, it will keep a 200 square foot living room at pretty close to 80 degrees. So it does kick out some heat. Mind you, I have a ceiling fan going. So I'll go ahead and put this back in here. See if I can go ahead and get this out so you can see what it actually looks like. There we go. A little warm. That's what it looks like. Just a stainless steel box. In another video, I will show you how you can make one of these. If you don't want to spend the $45 to buy something manufactured, there is a way you can make these inserts out of nothing more than a soup can and a roll of toilet paper. So it's a good DIY hack if you are in a situation where you find yourself without heat. Because the propane cans are going to go fast. I think that's going to be most people's turn to for secondary heat. I don't think that options like this are going to be readily considered. So you might be able to find the denatured alcohol in a situation where resources become very limited, because it may not be something people think about as a means to heat their home. So I got the insert set in there. I have a little brick in the bottom to keep it level in there. So you just open it up, you get your lighter, wherever I put my lighter. I lost it again. Ah, there it is. I got a lighter. Whoosh, and I'm back. You're going to see a little bit of a flash boom when you light it. I recommend that you light it with a long match, but I've lit in this multiple times with a normal Bic lighter. You do get a little bit of a flash boom. You just got to be quick. And boom, you're good to go. And then you can put your logs in however you want. Probably be a good idea to do this before you light it. Charles hasn't always had the best common sense. Intuitive, maybe part MacGyver. Rocket scientist? Probably not. Although,
neuroscientist?
I have been working on a degree in neuroscience, so, you know, at first I would tell people when I was talking about neuroscience, well, it's not brain surgery, and then I was like, wait a minute, actually, it is. You can put the logs in there however you want. And, you know, move them around. I'm anal, so I'll probably move them 10 times before I find a configuration I like. But as you can see, the Flame Denatured Alcohol Fireplace Insert. It's got ambiance, has a multitude of uses as a heat source, and it's a great option when installing a chimney is not an option, or perhaps you rent and can't, or you live in a place that has the fireplace sealed up, which in St. Louis there's a lot of that. There's a lot of really gorgeous houses where they've sealed the fireplaces because they don't meet code anymore. And so a lot of people in this area, what they do is they fill them with candles and electric fireplace inserts and stuff like that to try to get the ambiance of a real fireplace. But I tell you what, those electric fireplace inserts, they suck down your electric, make your electric bill go through the roof, and I'm sorry. Yeah, we have a couple of them. They look nice, but they do not bring ambiance to a room like this. That is a real fire creating real heat. Safe, cost effective, and for, you know, 45 bucks, not counting the price of the chimney. And like I said, they do sell whole units where you can get the fireplace and everything. They run a couple $100s. Me, I'm always trying to find the more thrifty way to go, and the fireplace insert set in a chimney worked just fine for us. Like I said, in a follow-up video, I'll show you how you can make one of these. It can also be utilized above and beyond a heat source. In a grid down situation, you could also utilize this as a method for cooking food. It's basically the same principles behind a backpacking spirit burner camp stove. It's the same principles behind a marine alcohol stove. Like I said, this technology of utilizing denatured alcohol as a fuel source has been around for a while. It's only recently become conventional and popular in household applications. There is another tiny house out there that actually utilizes a wall mount fireplace for a heat source. I can't remember the name of them, the name of their house or who they were. I know Deke Diedrichson did a tour of their tiny home. Deke, if you see this, comment who it was, if you remember. But I know that this is a very, very good solution for RVs, campers, tiny houses, micro cabins, writers' retreats. You really don't need in a space that's under 150 square feet. You really don't need much more than 6,000 BTUs, and we probably could have utilized this as our primary heat source if last winter we would have had the secondary interior walls up and the flooring down, because I mean, right now the cabin, the ceiling's not even insulated yet. I mean, we have the moisture barrier excuse me, in between plywood and the metal roof, and that's it right now. I plan on putting up the pink stuff in bead boards, so that should help a lot. Considering the fact we went with 1/2-inch thick birch plywood on the walls, I didn't insulate the walls to leave an air pocket, kind of using that kind of principle for insulating the walls, utilizing the air pockets. Due to the fact that our cabin's such a small space, I did want a little bit of draftiness because the Dickinson wood-burning stove, I believe, is rated at 8,000 BTUs. So the little buddy heater on high kicks out a little over 6,000 BTUs, and I tell you, that's more than adequate. Moda claims that this is 6,000 BTUs. I'm going to guesstimate it's probably realistically more around 3,500 to 4,000 BTUs. If you fill it all the way up, I think it fills with 2.4 liters. It will burn 6 to 8 hours. That might give you a full 6,000 BTUs. I don't know how long of a burn time you're going to have at that heat. But for roughly 50 bucks and a can of denatured alcohol, you can get yourself cooking, literally. So now you guys know what I'm talking about when you hear me reference the denatured alcohol fireplace. Here it is. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below. I'll try to get back to them. Either me or John's usually pretty good about getting back to comments relatively quickly. Like I said, John and I are pretty good about getting back to comments quickly. So like, subscribe, comment, and we'll get back to you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of our tiny cabin project. Catch you later.